Hello everyone, Jill here with Coco Daisy, and instead of doing an unboxing of the new kit, I thought what I would do today is just walk through the projects that I made with the Poppy Fields kit, say a little bit about each of them, maybe share a few techniques with you, and then give you just a few highlights from the Tranquility kit, which is very pretty. But I won't thoroughly take you through everything, but give you a little flavor of what that kit is like before I actually break into it, which I'm planning to do later today. Okay, so I'll kind of go in reverse order of the projects that I made with Poppy Fields. This is my most recent, and it's in the TN that comes in the memory making kit. Sorry, there goes my dog. So anyway, there are lots of little techniques that I think are really easy to adapt to your own style. One is just working, and I'll probably do more with this because I'm planning to do a scraps layout. And as I said, this is the last of my projects. So at that point, you have little strips and scraps. And I think that they're very pretty, just layered up under a photo, which is what I did here. And the washi tape peeks out. That's always nice to include in that sort of linear arrangement. The sticker kit has little bits that can fit in with those strips. And then, of course, the glitter dots kind of keep your eye moving around the page. So one other thing, maybe one or two other things about this layout. One is if you have a die cut machine, remember that you can cut the pretty papers into your title. Even though we're given a lot of great alphabets in these kits, I think that's sometimes just a creative and interesting way to use the paper. And I particularly liked it with this because look at that little flower in the center of the O. It really reinforces my whole flower painting practice theme of this layout. Okay, and as you can see, die cuts, which you can either take the back off and use in a flat adhesive way, or you can ruffle up a bit with just putting some of your own adhesive underneath. And then this is an example of how to use those wonderful little sentiment cards that we got in the memory keeping kits this past month. Okay, so that was my TN page for the month out of that kit. I have a lot more that I want to do with it, but anyway, that gives you an example of that format. And as we know from the modern memory keeping kit, the kind of focus right now is on versatility in all the different page formats. And so I love that. That keeps me going to kind of keep bouncing around among the different formats. So I did do a 12 by 12, and I know I'm kind of my camera is a little too close to encompass the whole thing. All of these layouts you can see on my Instagram account if you want to see close-up pictures. You can also see them on the Coco Daisy Pinterest soon. I haven't posted mine up there yet, but they'll be there soon. Okay, so this 12 by 12, kind of the claim to fame of this is something that I love to do, which is to mix the different stamp sets. And so you can see here, I did most of my stamping along the edge of the 12 by 12 spread. And simple as can be, just choose some stamps you like and create little collages that you repeat. And I kept the colors fairly consistent. As you can see, whenever the flower pops up, this is a daisy from the earlier kit, but I think it works well with the poppies. I used red, and then I used this color of green again, for each of these. And you might add a little variety in there. I also usually like to add some black in with the color. So there's just a couple things to keep in mind if you want to try this technique. It also doesn't have to be along the edge. I like to do that because I tend to have a million things going on in the center of the page. But you can do this at any place on a 12 by 12 or a smaller layout, or on a pocket card too, for that matter. Okay, so this layout's about plant love. Another thing to keep in mind is that you can always mix and match the letter stickers in the kits. And I really enjoy doing that. Here I use the same font, but I just use the two colors together. And that's especially true if you're just collecting them from kit to kit, or if you get both of the memory keeping kits, which often mix and match together in a really great way. I just kind of tucked my journaling, which is about my indoor green garden, tucked it a little bit under the paper. And I think this will be fun as a layout to look back on, to see just what plants I had at this stage in my life. Okay, and then the use of the paper is just Really free and easy, just a big piece here. I cut this into a half circle, stitched around the edges. A simple but really satisfying technique that I recommend to add a little interest. The chipboard is really great for just, guiding your eye from place to place. So you find, roughly a triangle, and then layer up your chipboard and your die cuts. I've loved the leaves and the spring kits. My other focus has been catching up and working in my Project Life album. So I did quite a lot with the not just the poppy fields, but poppy fields mixed with some of the earlier kits too. And again, some of these techniques were just fun and added interest, and they're super simple to do. Here, I just cut a heart, hand cut a heart out of the paper, backed it with this pretty pattern from the sticker kit, and then do a little messy stitching on top. And then that just gives a kind of what we would consider like a filler card in with the photos and the cards that hold the journaling. So keep that in mind as a technique, and nothing goes to waste. I used the heart that I cut out down here with my rascal dog Hazel on the little part of the page that emphasizes every day being a new beginning, valuing small moments, and using this photographs to kind of preserve those moments. So the focus of this whole spread, which is called Carpe Diem, the story, the February story, is hitting a kind of pause button and appreciating the love in my life and that sort of thing. Okay, so that's that page. Another one I want to fill in with a little more in February, but then we skip to March. And as I said, even though a lot of the Poppy Field kit appears here, I reached into what I had from my March memory keeping kit to tell these currently stories. This whole double page spread, as you noticed from the blog, if you looked at that, and from my Instagram, is about currently, just what's been going on lately that I can document. The cards and the kits are great for that. Enjoying little things, that's like definitely a currently card. And even just a journaling card, you can turn it into a currently. Here I turned it into current loves, used a little bit of colored pencil to highlight things on my list of what I'm currently loving. And this one, the enjoying little things, is great because it has the currently reading, watching, eating, listening. And Cocoa Daisy includes those cards, and they're lots of fun to use in whatever form of pocket page. This is a 9x12, which I've been using for the last couple of years. As it emphasized on the blog, I had a photo of reorganizing some glass containers in my kitchen, and then I decided, because there are all those circles, that sort of inspired this layering of label circles and chipboard. So I did that throughout the 2-page spread. See if there's anything I want to call out on this side. The On the Menu is a really good, these kind of food-related chipboards or stickers and pocket cards are great for these currently spreads that you might want to include in your documenting, just to remember like what kinds of things you were cooking, what you were enjoying eating, what kind of habits you had gotten into that way. Again, those are fun to look back on. Creative work, here and here, I've been like painting flowers and doing art journaling through a class. And so, chipboard that says something like do your own thing or do your thing is great for, highlighting this kind of creative part of your focus on what you're currently engaged in. So don't forget to include, those creative projects too. Always include a selfie, because you'd be really glad when you look back later to have preserved kind of your look, your habit. Like these days, I'm really careful to wear cap and sunscreen, and I write about that a little bit as we head into these sunnier days. Okay, so that gives you an overview of the kinds of techniques I've been enjoying and what I've been doing with the products. Let's take a really quick look at the most recent kit, which is called Tranquility. I love the theme. It's very, very green too, which really makes me happy as we celebrate the green in nature right now, the coming of spring. I had the March stories currently, And I think it's fun to have just a slightly different font, but a very similar May stories. So as you page through your pocket album, you'll see that continuity. The other thing that offers continuity in these cards are these. I love them. I think they're this like really fresh and cool. These little calendar cards. They're all a little different in the illustration and the graphic for each month, but otherwise they're the same format. And you guys have probably already been using them in that consistent way. I just wanted to call them out because I think they're really pretty this year. Okay, and in this kit, there's a lot of focus on greenery and plants. I love this pocket card. I can't wait to use it. Never Stop Growing, but those are really sweet little potted plants. Both of the memory keeping kits have rub-ons, and rub-ons are really wonderful. These are plants, house plants, outdoor plants, some stitching, which I love, little graphic designs. Sorry about that. She's got a very sharp bark. So anyway, I can't wait to use these, and I'm glad both of the kits have them, and they're not something to hoard. I think that it's really good to remember that rub-ons have a shelf life no matter who produces them, so you don't want to just hold on to them as beautiful as they are. Just go ahead and get those on your projects. So there's some really nice ones in this month's kit. I want to say a little bit more since I'm talking pocket cards. I love all of these. Here's another example of the Currently, and this is from the current kit, and they're always a little different. This is Today I'm Feeling, and this is Why. And so that's another thing to capture in the Currently. Whatever kinds of moods you've been going through for whatever reason, like just keeping it real. Again, it'd be wonderful to look back on. Similar to this Here and Now card, a great way to capture just what's going on for you, maybe places you've been going, if you've been able to get out again. I want to call attention to the freshness of the colors in this kit. There's just a touch of pale coral along with all these greens and kind of blue greens, the whole range. It's just like very fresh and spring-like. And I love that there are black accents included in the cards. I used some of them, for instance, last month when I created this little spring. It's almost like a little illustration with the bird in the sky and the flower here and the cloud. But it was really nice to be able to put that against a dark card and have it kind of stand out and bring some contrast to the spread. So I do like those a lot. The 4x6 cards are really great too. And some of these can easily be adapted to other, like a 12 by 12 page or even a traveler's notebook if you want to put it across the spread. The focus is on relaxation. I love this number card. It just really appeals to me. And again, it gets all those colors together, including that pretty accent of coral. Okay, so there we have it. Tried to keep this relatively short, but give you some ideas of what you can do with these great Cocoa Daisy kits. Thanks for showing up, and I'll see you next time.